Okay, here we are, a little bit more challenging environment. We've got a little bit more trees. We definitely have some cover over the top of us. Lake back behind us. I can see this as your typical spot, maybe where you're surveying, just a little prettier because of the lake, right? Okay, so both of these data collectors right now, the R12 is fixed, the R10 Model 1 is not fixed, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to go into measure, RTK initialization. I'm going to say reset satellite tracking, reset. Yes. That's going to drop the satellites down to 0. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do the same thing. Measure, RTK initialization, reset SV tracking, reset, yes. Okay, it's going to drop these satellites down to 0. Okay. So both of them are going to pick up satellites. We're going to see which one of them, how they initialize. Well, the R12 is already initialized. So I'm waiting on the R10 Model 1 to see what it does. So this is what this is just a little challenge, I think, to see how well the R12 works over the R10 Model 1. With the new ProPoint software and everything in it, the R12 just really just smokes. So we'll wait here a few minutes. We'll see if we can get the R10 Model 1 to get a fixed position. It was, I say fixed, right? Resolve its ambiguities. It did a while ago. It actually had a check mark, green check mark by it. So looks like the R12 still holding. I am, according to it, 500 horizontal, 1200 vertical. Estimated error, I've got about a foot horizontal and a foot 22, foot 34 vertical on the R10 Model 1. So I don't know, I actually turned these on while I went and got the camera, and I don't know, these sat here for probably about 10 minutes or so, and when I came back, the R10 Model 1 was initialized, but while I was standing here, it lost initialization. R12 is still initialized. So while we're waiting on that, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shoot this as point number 101. I'll call it check. We'll just do a topo point, enter, measure. Store it.
Observation stored.
Okay, well, we had a green check for a second on this one. Let me go back into measure. I'm gonna say RTK initialization, reset SV tracking, reset, yes. Okay, drop this back down to 0 satellites again. I'm gonna come back over here. I am at 1700s, it just jumped down, 2200s. Estimated error, see if it goes into survey grade. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'll call that 101. Oh, it's in survey grade right now. Oh, lost it. I'm gonna call it check, enter, measure. I'm gonna go ahead and hit measure on this one. Both of them are, oh, that one just got survey grade. Store. Well, except for the fact I didn't shoot 101. Yep. Measure. Store. Looks like we're 300s horizontal, 1700s vertical from our last shot. We're still not survey grade over here. There it goes. Store. Okay, so I'm gonna go to 101. I'm gonna go back into measure, RTK initialization, reset SV tracking, reset, yes, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and, yep, measure, go into options, I'm gonna say auto store, so it'll store it whenever it gets a shot. We're going to say store another, accept. Let's go back into measure, RTK initialization, reset SV tracking, reset, yes, okay. We're gonna go back to 101. Yep, measure. Okay, so we're waiting for both of them to get a solution. Let's see how long they take. Like I say, this is Got some big pine trees. I got some leafy trees. You know, most of the leaves have, I'll say most of the leaves have come off. There's still a lot of green in here. I'm gonna go ahead and tell this one to auto store as well. See what happens. Both of them are struggling right now. Now I'm coming off cell phone. I actually have a base station set at my house with a SIM card plugged into it. And I'm running through some software to get position on this. Some of you guys that get equipment from me, I've set a few of you up. It's really cool the way it works. I'm intending on building a video to show you guys how it all works. 1.52, 1.59. Well, it looks like both of them is going to struggle. "21 satellites on the R12. I got 16 satellites on the R10 Model 1. Okay, so this one just got it. I am 400s by 2600s. Say store another. I'm gonna go to measure. RTK initialization. Reset SV tracking. Reset, yes, yes. We'll do 101 again. Measure. Okay, this one still hasn't gotten it. Looks like it's wanting to. That R10 Model 1's trying like heck. This one's already got it again. That one's 500s by 2200s. Store another. Measure. RTK initialization. Reset SV tracking. I'm dropping the satellites down to 0 just to show you how well this thing works. I'm gonna take this back to 101. Yep, measure. And what I'm doing by reshooting it, breaking initialization, resetting the satellites, shooting it again, I'm showing you the consistency, right? How well that Pro Point actually works in heavy tree cover. And so you can see for yourself how well these things perform. Okay, this one got it. Looks like my numbers are still good. Accept. Do this a few times. 1, enter. Okay. Measure. RTK initialization. Reset SV tracking. Reset. Yes. Okay. Measure. Okay. Completely reset that one. This one's still struggling over here. Lost internet connection for a second. Looks like it's fixing to get the shot. Maybe it's trying real hard. Went back up. I lost internet connection and okay, so my vertical's not being all that hot. So let's say accept. I'm really kind of surprised because usually the vertical with Pro Point works really, really good. Let's go back to 101. Go back to the measure. RTK initialization. Reset S. Whoops. Well, went too far out. Measure. My big fingers. Measure. RTK initialization. Reset SV tracking. Reset. Yes. Okay. Enter. Yep. Measure. Try this one again. Still haven't got a shot over here. I mean, it's clear to me. I mean, this R12 is going to get shots 10 to 1 or more. I just got the shot. It says 3/10 for vertical. Okay, I'm gonna do it one more time, just so you guys can see what's going on. Hit measure. But I think the results is clear. The R12 will get shots 10 to 1 to the R10 Model 1, maybe 20 to 1. because I'm still not getting any shots over here.
Output tolerance.
200s for horizontal, 2500s for vertical. I'm still waiting on this one. Remember, each time I do this, I'm losing all my satellites. I'm dropping the satellites down to 0. Measure, RTK initialization, reset SV tracking, reset, yes, okay. Watch the satellites go down to 0. Measure. Still not getting a shot over here. Keeps coming down like it's wanting to, but it's making me wait. I'm down to, what, 2/3 right now? Two tenths, 3/10. This one's fixing to go. 1 foot, 7/10. 800s by 4300s. My vertical's out. Just had kind of surprised with the vertical. Usually the vertical's a little bit tighter. There it is. Got the shot again. So I just keep getting shots with this R12. Keep resetting the satellites, dropping them down to 0 and getting shots. My R10 here is still not got the other shot. Horizontal 2/10, vertical 3/10. I keep thinking it's going to get the shot. It's hung up on the 2/10 by 3/10 right now. Position compromised. Store the point. I'll go ahead and store it. Whoa. So there's Pro Point for you. So me sitting here waiting all that time for this thing to get the shot, and this hasn't moved, and it says my horizontal position is within a foot, and it says my vertical is 3.38. That's the difference between Pro Point and an R10 Model 1. I can trust my information coming off this R12 with Pro Point better than I can the R10 Model 1. The Pro Point firmware, the way it works and how it measures or uses all the measurements, it measures every measurement. Does that make sense? It gives me a better solution. R10 Model 1, we're still back the old way with GPS. Now, the R10 Model 1 is still a fine machine, and it works pretty good as a base station and using your R12 as a rover. And we may look at that real soon because I've got a lot of guys doing that. The only problem you have with the R10 Model 1 versus the R12, because all you're looking for is satellites with the R10 Model 1. You don't get the, if I go and I look at the satellites, if you look down here at the compass satellites down here at the bottom, I'm not getting anything. I've got 23 satellites on this side, and if you look at the compass, I've got some L5. Picking up the L5 on the compass side makes a big difference, right? So I say compass, I assume this compass is Beiju, or I guess you'd call it Beiju. So over on this side, I'm not picking up the L5 on the R10 Model 1. So when I use an R10 Model 1 as a base, I'm losing a couple of satellites on the L5 signal code, which are really important, but these things work so well, it may not perform at maybe optimum, but it's not going to be far from it. So if you watch that video I've got on using the R8S and an R12, I believe it was as a base, the R8S doesn't have the L5 on the Beiju either, so just FYI. So anyways, guys, I hope this helps you out. I am out here in the middle of the woods. It's a Sunday afternoon. I'm trying to get this done for you, and I've got to get back to the house. I've got to leave probably tonight, head for Dothan, Alabama to work with a customer who did buy an R12, and I've got to get them all set up. They're actually going to use an R10 Model 1 as a base and an R12 as a rover, so I got to set all that up for them tomorrow. So anyways, God bless. Thank you guys very much for watching. As always, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Appreciate it.